Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 10th episode of Unboxing Women, where we explore why women in business are often called such a bitch. Our aim is to examine why women are marginalized in the music industry, and we will also broaden our view to the underlying aspects of modern society in general. This is a live stream on Facebook and Instagram, and we also have a YouTube channel where we upload the show on Mondays. My name is Rexx, and I'm based in Belgium, and with me is my friend Maika Rose, based in Germany, and we are both independent recording artists and singer-songwriters. And today, it's Maika's birthday! Happy birthday!
Thank you so much. Can't believe I've gotten this honor to be talked about on my birthday, on my own show.
Yes!
Anyway... So it's actually funny story, right? So today was a completely normal day for me because we're currently on lockdown. Fun hair there. Germany is currently on lockdown, so it's not like a full lockdown, but it's the same as it was in March. So you're advised not to go out and stuff, and so long story short, I couldn't have a birthday party, and I'm really, really bummed about that.
Damn COVID.
I know, right? At the least, though, the last couple of years, it's always rained on my birthday. So at least today, it only drizzled.
It only drizzled.
It was an improvement. It was like the world was saying, I know you've been dealt a really bad card this year. Let's not let it rain as well.
It's already bad enough. Let's not overdo it.
Exactly. So basically, I turned 25 today, and I know I'm so old. I'm now a quarter of a century old, or young. Well, actually, I should say I'm a quarter of a century young.
You're young.
I'm young. I know I'm young, but it's always, you like to joke about it when you get older. You're like, oh my God, I'm so old. Also, I was at physiotherapy today because I have all sorts of joint and whatever not problems, so
it's the start of the end.
It's the start of the end, yes, the slow decline down to when it's the end. So basically I turned 25 today, and the fun story around this, always fun stories with me, is that in Germany it's actually a tradition when you're 25 that is your it's called in German Schachtelgeburtstag. And this is only for women, right? And the translation of that is box birthday. Oh. So I thought, unboxing women, it kind of fit. What it basically means is that on your 25th birthday, it's the same as in in other countries, you have a term like this as well. In English, it's called spinsterhood. So if you're unmarried at 25, you are considered a spinster. You will live your life alone. And so with in German, with your cats, yes. I mean, back in the day, maybe not with your cats, but now with my two cats. And basically, so I thought the box birthday was kind of cool because it basically means two things. The number one thing is if you call someone an alte Schachtel, so an old box in German, it just means you're a batty old woman who's crazy, like batshit crazy. And number two is you're on the shelf. You're literally in a box on the shelf, waiting for somebody to take you down and unbox you and say, oh, yes, I want this old box. The dust. I will sweep off the dust and I will take this old box. So... I thought this would be a really fun topic to discuss because I know this is a thing that happens in loads of different cultures. And I know that the equivalent for men in Germany is their 30th birthday.
Oh,
so on their 30th birthday. And again, it's not the same kind of I guess it's kind of the same that they say, oh, you're still unmarried at 30. But Ethan, you didn't miss that much. It's my birthday. Hi.
Hi.
So, no, basically, where was I? Now you've completely got me off my train of thought here.
Well, that man is at 30. Yeah.
Exactly. So on their 30th birthday in Germany, there's an old tradition where men have to, I think it's called sweep. They have to sweep in front of the, what's it called? Rathaus?
Oh yeah, the house, the Gemeentehuis. Oh my God.
Yeah, so we know it in two different languages, but not in
English. It's like
what did they say? Town hall.
The
There you go.
town hall.
Yeah. You know how I just got that? I was thinking, what do they say on the subway in Germany? So basically, in front of the town hall, there's always like a big place. There's a big space, which again, word missing.
The square, the town square.
Exactly. Yes, the town square. So apparently you're supposed to go on. Thank you, Doro. Doro just said town hall. Apparently you're supposed to go onto the town square, and then you have to sweep the town square until a woman comes to kiss you free.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the male equivalent. I know, it's weird, isn't it? That's the male equivalent.
It is weird, yeah.
Yeah. And I think I don't know if this was women, because I'm very, very badly informed on this, but there's another words are missing today.
Yes, words are missing.
I've said this word before.
So another expression or another in another language?
No, there's another tradition. That's the word. There's another tradition. Ah, okay. Sorry, I just read a comment that apparently if you're only an old spinster, so an alte Schachtel, if you're a virgin. So it only counts to virgin women. So
yes, and that's written on our faces.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. But there's another tradition where somebody, because that's so conclusive.
It's so important.
Yes, Doro already guessed it. Klinkenputzer. So basically, there's a tradition where you're supposed to, I don't know if this is men or women, so Doro, please help me out. Somebody, man or a woman, has to go around, wait. No, the kissing free part.
Wait. Let me guess what it is. Is it cleaning cobblestones?
That's nearly. It's cleaning.
Sounds like.
But it's not cobblestones.
Klinke. Door handles.
Yes. So
my German is on point today.
All right. So Doro says women. So I'm going to say women have to go around and clean door handles. And this is actually, there's a saying in Germany that when you do cold calling in English, so you kind of do a cold call to someone who you want them to hire you. It's called Klinkenputzen in Germany.
Oh.
So it's called cleaning door handles because you shine the knobs by using them a lot, right? So you have to go around and shine a lot of knobs and this is getting too two-sided because
you're shining knobs?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist because we talked about knobs in the last episode as well.
Oh my God.
This is just us nerding out on the differences in languages and everything. Yeah.
Anyway, so this is a tradition. So coming back to the point and why this is actually in the podcast,
yes.
Apart from it being my birthday, which it's my birthday in case you haven't noticed, is that this is a tradition that is in it's a common known thing that women at some point, if they're unmarried and apparently if they're a virgin, which I think was assumed in those times.
Yes, it was.
You became a spinster, right? Mm-hmm. And men were just bachelors.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of that.
How mean is that?
There's a lot of that going on, I guess, in the entertainment industry as well. I mean, if you're above a certain age, you get, I would say actors complain about this a lot. If you're above a certain age, you get certain roles. Obviously, you're doing the mom or the grandmom a lot when you get a little bit of gray hair or something like that. And men, play James Bond when they get older. They're the hero, and they're, they don't. It's the difference in how age is used in a movie for both genders is very different. Very, very different.
Yeah. Like young women with older men and stuff, and the other way around, it's nearly never seen. Oh, I remember when you said Bond, there was a controversy when is it Daniel Craig played Bond, and I think it was his last or his second to last Bond movie, where the woman he was starring next to was actually 2 years older than him, and everybody
really?
was like, "Oh, and this is going to be so weird because she's older than him," and blah blah blah. And he was just like, "Guys, fucking get over yourselves. She's 2 years older than me. This is really cool because normally it's the other way around."
Yeah.
And he was like, obviously all for it, and it was just, it's so interesting to see this whole thing. It's just kind of so deeply saturated, deeply rooted in like our society. I'm gonna say Western society because I'm not sure how it works in different societies, but it's insane. I think because women have more of an, let's call it and people are going to kill me for this, but let's call it an expiration date.
Yeah.
Right. It's like you have a specific time in which you can bear children, and men, I mean, it gets harder for them the older they get because you lose like sperm. I can't believe I'm talking about sperm count, but there you go. But
they can
you can still have kids, so you can still,
until the end of time, basically.
Exactly. So if you wanted like strong children, you needed a young, healthy woman, and it's just they're like, that doesn't really matter as much anymore. Like my neighbors, they had kids again in like in their 40s. Well, she was in her 40s. Her husband is actually younger than her, but you know, there's no big deal.
No, it isn't.
Sorry, I just got a comment. The Virgin comment was about so the men who were who had to sweep the town hall square, they had to be kissed free by a virgin, not just any woman, by a virgin.
And I suppose he had to marry her then.
I don't know if you had to marry her then. I don't think so. I think it's just like, usually when people do this nowadays, because people still do this as a tradition, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then like there's the whole family gathers and they keep like throwing stuff on the floor for him to sweep up, and like all the piles he's made, they scatter them again. So he sweeps the whole day, and then at some point somebody who's slightly outside of the family is like, all right, I'll kiss you free now because you've spent a couple of hours doing this.
That's not my idea of a happy birthday day.
No, mine either. But it's a nice family outing.
Yeah.
Everybody but the birthday boy.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, in Belgium, when you said old box, basically, you know, calling women old and then a box, in Flemish or in Dutch, it's also oude doos. So you call an older woman an oude doos. Obviously, it's a very negative term to use. So yes, I do understand that it's probably widespread in Europe, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you know, that they actually still do this, and that you know, it surprises me that there are families who actually go out and that the man at 30 actually starts sweeping, and we don't have that at all in Belgium.
I didn't think we had this because my family never really did this, but I know a couple of friends of mine who still do this. I think it's more people who live in the countryside, or like closer to the countryside. And apparently, I just got another comment here. It's usually, what do you call Kronkorken? The caps off of, I know. This is a word finding day. Do you want to guess?
Say it again.
Kronkorken.
Kronkorken. Get something cheeks?
No. So korken is basically like the cork in a bottle of wine, but Kronkorken is the top of a beer bottle.
Oh, okay. Yes, the crown.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
So,
yes, I wouldn't have gotten that, you know, for the life of me.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I just got another comment. It says nowadays it's more of a drinking game than anything else. Game. Okay. So you kind of you drink your beer and then you throw the beer bottle caps to the guy and go like, "I'll sweep this one up," and then you just kind of have a nice day.
Now that I like.
Yeah. Except for the birthday boy again.
Yeah, again. Yes, I just wanted to do a shout out on my end as well. On Facebook, we have Roger, who's joining us from Kentucky, and you have a happy birthday from Thomas as well. He said it's time to start your midlife crisis, and
going downhill from there. I'm already starting in the middle of the crisis.
And Roger says his sister is about 7 months older than his brother-in-law. So yes, it's I guess the older you get, the less the difference is, significant or apparent. Obviously when you're 14 and you're dating a guy that's a year older, it's like a big deal because he's 15. Oh my God. Or like, oh, he's 16. Yeah. But the older you get, it just disappears. So yes, I mean, my mom actually has a boyfriend. She's had they've been together for 25 years or something. I don't know. I don't know exactly the years, but they've been together for ages, and he's much younger than her. So
I remember you saying this,
so I mean, it doesn't at that point.
No, I think it does. I think it, like, nowadays there's much less around the woman must always be younger and the man must be older. I think people are rebelling against it actively as well. What was it, to bring it back to some sort of musical thing, and I haven't researched this at all, but wasn't it back in the day, wasn't it a huge scandal when Madonna, when she was like in her 50s and she had like a 26-year-old dancer boyfriend?
I don't know.
Do you remember
look that up. We should do a Madonna episode.
Well, I say huge scandal. I think people were just like super weirded out, and I mean, yes, it's a huge age difference, but at the same time, 26, he's well into his adult life. I say that he's, even in America, he's over 21, so it's all legal. You can even have a motorcycle license at 25, all the big motorcycles, not just the smaller ones. So he could do everything. So he can date Madonna, I mean.
Yeah, isn't that just, I mean, if a more private person, a woman of 50 would date a 26-year-old. I mean, look at Madonna. She looks amazing. Okay. I mean, she's doing the yoga and the Pilates and she looks great. So if you see them walking down the street, would it really be such a weird thing? Private people, or was it such a hoo-ha because it's Madonna?
I think it's both. I think it's still so deeply entrenched in our society that it's weird, or it's kind of, I think it's been told to us so many times that it's just weird and unnatural for the woman to be older than the man. That it's just the reaction isn't really logical. It's out of that entrenched kind of old type of thinking. And I think it would happen either way. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's Madonna or somebody else, or even if they look a similar age. I think it's just people usually assume that you are then the mother. They'd rather assume that. They don't necessarily, they do assume it sometimes, obviously with men and women as well, but they don't necessarily, that's not the first assumption they go to.
Yeah. I see, yeah.
And they're not as shocked if they say, oh, no, they're actually a couple. Whereas the other way around, if you say the woman and the man are a couple and the woman is older, you're like, wait, what? So, I mean, I have this reaction too. I stop it. I'm like, Maika, that's a ridiculous reaction. You're like, you go girl, or you go woman. My bad. But it's just, it's there. It's a reaction that just kind of, it's so deep in the society that it's just.
It's taught, we're taught this, and so yes, I do catch myself having very, sexist reactions sometimes, in my head, and I'm like, wait, I shouldn't be thinking this at all because equality. So it's just it's so deeply rooted that sometimes it comes to the surface if you want it to or not. You have to actively, think about these things. I want to come back on a thing that you said.
Yeah, go
with an expiration date. You said women have an expiration date, and that it might be actually something that is linked to the expiration date of our uterus, if I may call it that.
Yeah. Again, please don't quote me on that.
Yes.
Out of context.
We'll have a quote. Yes, we'll have a quote with that at some point.
Yeah.
I think that's a good point. I mean, obviously, we are leading longer and longer lives now with science and medicine. So if you go back 200 years, the whole period of basically the last 2,000 years going up to 200 years before now, women and old men also, we just didn't get that old. So your life would basically be the lifespan of your uterus, 40, 50 years maybe. And, after that, people would become sick or whatever. So just because we have doubled our lifespan basically in the last couple of hundreds of years, but obviously we can't get children naturally to the age that we are actually getting to now. And I think that might be something to do with it, that it's like rooted, like, okay, this woman is older than 40.
Interesting.
So she might be, she's old because she can't get kids anymore. Is that some? I'm just
I know what you mean. Two things spring to mind there. First thing is that women still live longer than men on average, and I think always have. Might have then been due to men doing like more difficult jobs. Second thing being, actually three things spring to mind. Second thing being, women back then still, even though they only lived to maybe, let's say 40, 50, so this is way back for people just joining, not like 50 years ago, but a couple of hundreds years ago, the life expectancy was a lot lower. But if you live to 40 or 50, you can still probably have kids up until like your 40s, depending on when menopause sets in. So I don't see why then it would have had to have been young women, because that wouldn't have been an issue. It's just that when like women are considered adults as soon as they get, or were considered adults mature as soon as they got their period, which for some girls is like 10.
Yeah.
So that's
mostly
insane.
It's 12, 13, and that's very. Can you imagine? Young. I mean, can you imagine yourself? Just if you go back to when we were living in caves, that's when you would go away from your mom and have a husband and start having children at 13 years old. We can't imagine that now, but still, yes, our date starts then, and the expiration date hasn't changed, but our lifespan has doubled. So the expiration date is there, and then we go way past it, and then, oh my God, she's old.
Yeah, I'm trying. Yeah,
200 years ago, when people they passed away earlier, I don't think they were thinking that way, because yes, obviously it got more and more dangerous also. A lot of women died in childbirth because of the lack of medicine at that moment.
Yeah, I was going to say something.
And so a lot of women just didn't get to a certain age where, they're 45 and they're still bearing children, because it's so complicated without medicine also, and they just died of it.
Yeah, probably a lot of them died in childbirth.
Yeah.
This is the thing. So this is the third thing I was going to say, is that when you're being in childbirth, every time you're technically putting your life on the line.
Yes, you are.
Like,
and people
anything can happen.
That.
It's very dangerous.
Yeah.
And it's something that you don't want to be doing up until your late age anyway. So it's something that the body is only, I guess, built for a specific amount of time. and also carrying the baby to term and stuff. That's also something you need a lot of strength for. And if you've got bad knees and you're like 60 and you've got bad knees, or 70, you're not going to be able to walk around with a baby.
No.
You'll be bedbound.
Yeah.
There are some women who can have babies in late. I've heard of women who've been pregnant at 60 or something, and I pity them for have to had their period for that long, honestly, because it's kind of sucks.
Oh my God.
It's the best. I mean, the best thing about getting old is like when you're through menopause is not having to have your period anymore.
I guess let's ask some older women who are watching. Is that the best part? Because yes, it's like every month is like, here we are again. It's really annoying sometimes.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something about that. Oh my God, Janet Jackson.
Oh God.
She had a kid at 50.
Oh, see.
Yeah. So we should do an episode about that. We have already Madonna. We have Janet Jackson. Here we go.
We have loads of stuff to talk about. Yeah. No, it's crazy. It's been a long one as well. I think it's might be a good time to wrap it up for today. Yes,
maybe, but I'm sure we're going to come back to the subject in a future episode of basically ageism. I saw one of the Spice Girls. What's her name? Sporty Spice. Mel B. Mel C. Mel C. She was talking about ageism on a panel not so long ago at a conference. So yes, I really want to revisit that in one of the episodes. So yes.
There was a video about that. I remember. All right, so we shall revisit all of these things. I hope you enjoyed today. That's all for today. Thank you for watching Unboxing Women. For those of you who tuned in like halfway through, you were watching Unboxing Women. This is a bi-weekly podcast. Make sure to connect with us on our social media. And, you can find us in the show notes and like wherever it is on your computer. I don't know.
It's down there.
Okay, down there. So send us a DM if you've had any experiences with the hashtag such a bitch, just kind of if you've been told you're such a bitch for being just a woman, being assertive. So join the movement. Let's make some changes around here, and don't forget to support your favorite artists throughout this time. There's loads of things out there. You can buy merch or you can donate, and there's loads of like COVID artist funds. Just go search for them, check them out, and
support your local artist.
Exactly. My name is Maika Rose. I've been chatting with Dana Rexx.
Hi.
And actually, so our next show is in 2 weeks, right? So it's on the 26th of November.
Yes.
And we have a special guest next week.
Yes, I'm so excited about this. Our first guest on the show in 2 weeks' time. Make sure to tune in.
Exactly. Make sure to tune in. It's going to be on the 26th of November, and same time, same place, although we will be uploading this to Instagram maybe a little bit late because it's a pre-recorded one. I'm sorry. We're sorry. But through people, it's not live. Anyway, we'll be there but we'll be there in the comments. So if you want to do live comments, we'll be answering your questions live while we're streaming. So that's going to be fun. Yeah. And thanks again for listening, and we shall see you soon.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.